Okay, in the previous video we fetched all the events from the Google Calendar, and now we are going to add the event in the calendar, right? So how we can add the event in the calendar? So let's go here at the top. So here this one is displaying the dashboard, right here, this one. So I want to make this calendar, and then I will add a new button here to redirect to the new page, right? Okay, so this one would be the here I'm going to display a button here, and then later on, first let me add here h1 into maybe events. I will display events here, and I'm going to display here href, which is create or add event, and this should be the class of btn and btn primary. So these are the bootstrap classes, so these wouldn't work, right? If I want to use a bootstrap here, so I need to include the cdn, right? Mostly I'm working with bootstrap, and I'm not sure that this one is tailwind css or maybe different, is it included or not. So I'm going to add the custom style, or I can also add the bootstrap cdn here too, right? So let me create a button for this one. So let's add here the btn. I already created this btn using the gpt. So let me copy these properties from there. Let's copy them and paste them here. Let's move further like this one, save this one and give it a refresh. Okay, events is displaying here, and this one is add event. So why it's a little bit showing bigger? Because I increased this size. So here we can click on this, and then we can add the event. So let me create a new route where I will redirect this, and then I'm going to create the new event. So let's close this one, close this one, and here in the calendar I'm going to make this resource control route, because this one is a calendar. So I want to create its calendar slash create, calendar slash store, and so on things. So let's comment this out, and here I'm going to make this resource, right? And I'm going to name this calendar, and then your controller should be also the resource controller, so otherwise it wouldn't work. Okay, so this would be the calendar controller. If I go with the resource route, I think it's much simpler. You know all about the calendar, right? So it's easier for you to understand. Class, and then I'm going to name this calendar, right? This is we can't assign this name because by default it assigns the name. If you want to replace those names, I have a video on it, that how we can customize those by default resource route names, right? And here we need to make this resource controller. So you can create the resource controller whenever you are getting the resource controller. So let me make this little bit Google Calendar like this. I'm going to create a new controller, which should be a resource controller. Then I will copy these functionalities and add this into the another controller. PHP artisan make controller, right? I want to get this inside the auth, and my controller name should be calendar controller. So that's why I renamed this one to not override this calendar controller. This calendar is now added, this one, right? I'm going to now copy those methods here. Oops. Copy this method private. Oh, let me cut this from here and then add this into this calendar, not this one, into the calendar controller, this one, and then I need to add those namespace also at the top. So let's copy them and paste them here. So HTTP is added and other things are well. Okay, and then I need to create the index method. Oh my god, I need to create this resource controller. So let me delete this out. I want to generate the resource controller, so that's why I renamed this. Oh my god, I created this again. Let me delete it one more time. Sorry guys. Okay, let's add the resource flag here, and this should be the resource controller. And yes, now this one is resource controller. I'm going to add the private method here down below. Let me pull it again from here. Let's paste it here and add the namespaces at the top. So let's copy them. I think I need to also copy the HTTP, and then I'm going to paste them here, right? So now our this thing is okay. So let me copy this stuff and then paste this stuff here. Okay, fine. We are using the Google service in the index. We are opening the index. Fine. So let's go back here in the calendar. It will use by default to index, right, to send the request, and I'm going to access this. So let's now click on this calendar controller, so /calendar, right? So it's opening this one. Fine. Let's visit it. Is it opening the calendar? Yes, it's opening this one, right? So if I now I'm going to go to this resource, this one. I'm going to add a new create route here, calendar.create. Okay, so here we can move to this one, and whenever we will click on this button, so we can redirect on this calendar/create, right, this one. And here we need the view here. We will add the calendar there, but before this one I'm going to add a minor change here, which would be I want to add the auth prefix. You can add the auth prefix if you are using you have two types of things like administrator thing and public side thing. So in the public side you are not adding here any prefix, but in the administrator you can add this admin/calendar/create like this one, right? That's why I want to add this out here, auth/dashboard, something like this. So this will help you to easily differentiate between public routes and then the simple routes. So just add this prefix. And by the way, if you don't want to add the prefix and as, you can add prefix here, admin/profile like this one. So I think I'm shooting this for the educational purposes. I'm not going to add this. Sorry guys, I want to just focus on the only what's my main topic. Okay, this one is calendar controller. So now this one is opening this create method here, right? So I want to open a view here, so return view auth.calendar.create, right? So I will create in a minute. So now let's move here, go to this calendar. I'm going to create .blade.php. I'm going to also create this show.blade.php, right, this, right? So let's copy all of the stuff from this index, not in the show. Let's paste it here in the create, and in the create I'm going to remove this table. Okay, and then this should be the create event or create event, and this would be the go back, something like this, go back. So here you can add the go back functionality like URL previous, something like this, URL previous. but I will not recommend you to use this URL previous because it will redirect you on the previous page. So for example, user visited the same page 2 times, it will, when you will revert back, so it will return on the same page, then again same page. So here you can add the route, like to route you can add this on the calendar.index like this, right? And then this would be the form. Here you need a form to create the event. So let me get the help from the GPT. Create form with CSS. Okay, let's copy this one, paste it here. This one would be the form, and then copy its CSS. So let's add those CSS here. You can also add the comment to differentiate between what are the CSS you want to use. So above are the CSS of index, so we added them there, so we don't need them here anymore, right? Okay, we need only the form CSS. So let's go here and get refresh, and yes, we have this form, and we can add a padding here. Maybe this one would be the slot. Go back is this one, create event, this one, so we can round it LG, padding 6, and I don't know how to add this padding here, this one, so I'm going to create a div where I'm going to this one, overflow hidden, in which class I need to give the padding. So I'm going to add this form div, right? So let's go here. That's why I always prefer to use a bootstrap, because I'm familiar with the bootstrap. I don't need to waste the time on the other things. So here I'm going to add the padding of 30 px. Let's get refresh, and yes, looks better. This one and now when I want to create the event, so I need to review it from here, calendar, which input we need. I think only we need the event input. So in the store we need the start date, end date and then here we need title, description, start date, end date. Okay, so we need the title, start date, end date, and description. Fine. Let's open this out. So this would be the title, so let me mark all of them and rename them. So this would be the title, and this would be the name, right? Sorry. Okay, so then email, so this would be the start date, right? So you can make this not this one, make this start date like this one, and this should be the type would be date, and name is start date, something like this. We don't need this placeholder in the date. Let's copy this one and paste it again. This would be the end date, this should be also the end, and this would be the description, right? Okay, let's type the description here, something, and then there is a button. So let's get refresh, and yes, we have this one, and this one, but it's now size is different. So let me go here. Whenever this one is input type equal submit text or email, let me also add this. So type is date, right? So let's get refresh, and yes, now looks fine. Okay, So I'm going to add the title, and the here should be capital first letter, title, then start date and end date, description and everything. Okay, name is here we are adding the title, so I'm going to add the value in the old whenever we are sending this. So if something went wrong, so we want to display the title old value. Here this one would be the date, and then this would be this one. Start date would be start and date, and this would be the description, right? So description would be here, and we don't need this value anymore. We need to just add the other stuff. Okay, fine. So now we need to send this form using the post request, and then action would be the calendar store, calendar.store, like this. I want to submit on this request, and we need also validation that we are properly passing this title, start date, end date, and then press everything. So now let's come here. I'm going to type td request all to checking this that I'm getting all of the request. Okay, and now let's get refresh and submit this form. Okay, page is expired. Why? If you don't know, we are missing the CSRF token here. Let's go back, get refresh, title, and yes, we are getting this, right? Okay, now the time is the validations comes. We need to validate that user is properly entering the title, they are not adding anything else in the title. So how we can make sure this? We can create the validation, right? You can write the validation here, but always use in a separate logic, right? Because it will help you in future whenever you want to modify it. You can easily go to the files and modify it. Also, it will improve your project to code readability, because your code will be separate. Also, you are following the solid. Okay, so I'm going to create a form class. So what's the command? php artisan make request, and then the request to name would be inside. I want to create this inside the auth, and then name would be calendar slash create request. Okay, and here I'm going to call this create to request calendar. Okay, then go to this one and make this first true. We are authorizing this, and here define your column name first. Here you need to add this name, right? Name attribute like title, and then we need to define your validation rule required, and always define this into the array format, because here you can add the custom rule here, something like this, but in the pipeline you can't add this, right? That's why it's always good to use this one. String, this should be string, and the maximum should be 255, right? And then the start date, so this should be the start date, and this should be required, and then this would be the this would be date, and then that's it. Then do this for this one. This would be the end date, and then let's copy this one, paste it here. This one is for the description, and this would be required, or maybe this would be nullable. We are not going to restrict the user to enter the description every time. String, and this would be the maximum, maybe 30,000, right? And then I'm going to submit this request here, and if there is any error, so how we want to display the validation? So we can catch this here, like in the laravel which way. So let's go here, laravel.com. Here just search this laravel any error, something like this. Sorry guys, there are mosquitoes are here, and I'm very feeling import from this one because I'm very irritating from these mosquitoes. Okay, this one is a logic. So if I go here, submit this, I have these null values, it will redirect back. And yes, a title field is required and date is required, but this should be here alert danger. So let me define this danger class, alert danger. So background would be the red. Maybe background color wouldn't be red, to just define their color. Yeah, red. Background color would be red, but color would be white, like this. I will just submit this again like this. So let me add some padding here. Here 5px, then at the right side would be 10px, bottom 10, and left 5 px. Submit. Yeah, looks fine. Okay, then title is required, start date, end date is required. I am title, submit this, and yes, return back, and our title isn't lost due to this old value. So let me check the video size. It's going bigger, and in the next video I'm going to save this into the Google Calendar and our database too, right? So thank you so much for watching the video, and in the next video I'm going to work on this calendar events creation in the Google. Thank you.